I'm about to go for a right show, where a storm cloud like some night shows. I'm about to go for a right show, thunder blade on my chain like a dog, they'll bite you.
So, I wanted to wait for a good minute until I got some more information regarding Pokemon and its direction with what's going on. For what you guys may not remember, I did a live stream a couple of months ago, a Pokemon live stream that was talking about the new DLC, not the recent Pokemon Presents that was out like last week or so, but the one that was like way back when they had first announced the DLC. You know what I'm saying? And I have been quiet pretty much about Pokemon for like a very long while now because I was overall just fed up. With the direction the Pokemon Company is continuing to try and take this, and today I had just gotten this article from Urban Ninja, one of the Ryder brothers. We were in a messenger call, and he had brought this article up. Now, this article has a lot to do with what's going to be talked about in this video today. So we're just gonna, I'm just gonna briefly talk about it and put it on screen so you guys can understand where I'm coming from. Okay, so from what you see here, this is an article that is talking about the Pokemon Company having more conversations about game quality as fan complaints grow louder. Just don't expect releases to slow down, basically. This was made by Tom Phillips. This was done yesterday, okay? Now, he says in this article, as fans' complaints over game quality grow, the Pokemon Company has said it is now having more and more conversations about ensuring game standards while keeping to the series' relentless release schedule. Basically, so what it's saying is like, you know how every year or so we have a new Pokemon game, and that's what they're talking about. They're talking about every year at the either the end or the beginning of it, they announce a new Pokemon game or like a side game or whatever. Oh, excuse me, I'm a little tired. The Pokemon series' breakneck launch rate has recently seen at least one major game or pair expansions released per calendar year, and it's something fans say is having a detrimental effect on the games themselves, particularly as the series has morphed to become fully open world. Last year, Nintendo was forced to apologize for the state Pokemon Scarlet and Violet arrived in at launch. Now, I didn't know about this. I didn't know that they had made a statement apologizing about how the game has been affecting everyone who bought it, and acknowledged the technical issues and issues affecting each game's performance. Now the Pokemon Company has also addressed the issue. I think in general, if you look at the past, the path we've taken up until now has been this consistent release. We're always regularly releasing products on a fairly fixed kind of a cadence, you might say. The Pokemon Company's chief operating officer, Takato, told a comic book, "That's how we've operated up until now," he continued, and I think we're still operating in that way, but there's more and more conversations as the development environments change about how we continue to do this while making sure that we're ensuring really quality products are also being introduced. This thing goes then on to say that complaints about the quality Pokemon games releases have existed for years, and they have. It's true. Ever since ever since X and Y, people have been basically been talking about it. Well, actually, not really. What? No, you know what? Scratch that. Yes, really, because we were also talking about how they just still have not made any continuations, any bringbacks with X and Y. The game is still unfinished. It's still unfinished, and they have yet to even address that or make any kind of leeway to saying, hey, we're gonna be making oh man, we're gonna be making a game that's gonna be about X and Y, but it's gonna be a different kind of game that's gonna be expanding more about X and Y and everything. There has not been any talk about that at all, and a few people really wanted that, but a lot of them have just given up at this point, and moved on to better things. Though it became particularly prevalent around last November's Scarlet and Violet, which arrived the same year as Pokemon Legends Arceus. This is true. And Urban Ninja had pointed this out. Pokemon Legends Arceus is still good. And it's amazing how they did that really nice, but they shunned Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl and just gave it like this, like, you know what I'm saying, like the here's your remake that y'all cried about so much. No, we did little work with that as possible. We got someone else to do it for you, so go ahead and take it. Meanwhile, launched just 2 months after Pokemon remakes Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. Exactly that. I just said that. Since 2010, Pokemon generations have come around every 3 years, but it's only been more recently that each game has become more ambitious, and intervening years have also seen major spin-offs and expansions launch. Yeah, so 2010, like, they started, posting like debuting Pokemon games like every 3 years, but now really it's gotten to like where like they have to make a Pokemon game or something about some like teaser about a new Pokemon game coming out at the end of the year, or either like DLC for that existing game. Last year, a major Pokemon game or expansion did not arrive. Was 2015 before 2016 Sun and Moon, 2017's Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, 2018's Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, 2019's Sword and Shield, and then 2020 expansions, the Isle of Armor and the Crown Tundra. Now, listen to what they just said. And look at that lineup. Just look at the lineup, right? Sun and Moon came in 2016, and then not even a year passed. Not even a year passed since they made that game. Not even a year passed. Just 1 year passed. Not even 3 years passed, right? And they give us Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. And then in that same instance, here comes the remake. Coming in the year after that with Pikachu and Eevee. And then the year after that, here comes Sword and Shield. And then 2020, here comes the DLC. You see where I'm getting with getting that? Now, I'm sorry, I'm mixing up on my words, but what I'm trying to say is this type of stuff is what is killing Pokemon games right now. They're not giving people who buy these games enough time to enjoy them, and enough time to even like be used to the gameplay, and just it's not enough time. At the end of the day, I'm sorry, but it's just not enough time. Honestly, and honest to God, I'm not even gonna hold you. We didn't really need Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Sun and Moon were great. We didn't really need Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon right then and there. They could have waited, or in that sense, start a DLC for that. And because the only reason I'm gonna be upfront with you. The only reason why Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon were even prevalent to buy is because of what you could do with Necrozma. But after that, the rest of the game is the same thing. It's literally the same thing as Sun and Moon. It's just that that was added on, and they gave worlds for the Ultra Beast. That's about it. That's literally about it, for real. And then, but then, like you see, like I said before, after that, Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, which some people played, and the moment they had beat the game, everyone just dropped it. There was some people who were shiny hunting with it, but it wasn't that much people. No one really cared about this game, and honestly, from what I've heard, more people watch other people playing the game than they did buying it and playing it themselves. That's how we've gotten at this point. That's how bad it's gotten, to the point where they would rather watch someone else play the game than them buying the game and then having the experience for themselves. Now, Sword and Shield. Now, they were, like I said before, there were a lot of complaints on that about the fact that Pokemon were taken out. Also about the fact that it was literally, I want to say, like I said, not even a year. Because I remember in that same year where Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee came out, right? At the end of it, they announced the next gen. And 2019, here comes Sword and Shield, and it's not finished. It's not ready. They still had sprites from X and Y. Those sprites were used sprites from X and Y. That could have been given more time. You could have given that more time. We didn't need a Pokemon game right then and at the moment the new year comes. We didn't need that. There's no need for that. But let's continue. 2013, we will see Scarlet and Violet expand with their own 2 expansions, the Teal Mask and the Indigo Mask, footage of which prompted yet more comments by fans who say they expect more from the city's visuals and technical abilities. Yeah, because people are buying this stuff, but y'all keep giving us the same stuff. Digitally, Foundry dubbed Pokemon Scarlet and Violet as comprehensive technical failures in the team's appraisal last year, lambasting the games for embarrassing artwork, terrible drawing distance, poor performance, and a litany of bugs. Yeah, there are a lot of bugs in that game. Fans made memes of the game's various glitches, but also suffered save wipes due to technicals. Oh, Jesus, I didn't even know about that. I've heard about that. Nintendo has continued to patch this game into this year. Yeah, see, that's the whole, and that's the end of it. But see, that's the whole thing about it. And Urban Ninja had pointed it out. Urban Ninja had pointed this out in the same call that we were talking about. It's just that it's funny how they keep giving patches, but the game bugs are still there. Like, if I turn that thing on right now, right, and I do a raid, chances are it's gonna bug out the moment like a high attack comes, or the moment like people start making clicking on their moves, and it does, and I do my move, but because how buggy the game is, it won't show my move. It'll show one person's move and then just be like, I want to say a couple seconds later to even calculate that the move hit the rated Pokemon. That is not something that I made up. That is an ongoing thing that has happened with me a lot of times when I've gone into raids. When I was playing this game and going into raids, and it was very frustrating. It's very frustrating. But then again, that wasn't the only time that's happened. For Sword and Shield, that happened to me as well. It has happened to me as well. So much so that I just stopped doing raids. But the main thing that I want to point out with this, as I read that article to you guys, is the fact that the Pokemon Company, and it is a damn shame I deleted the old video because I felt bad for slandering them and whatnot. But here's the thing though. People are tired. People are tired of reopening the possibility of y'all to do better. People are sick of it. That is a no-brainer. People are just sick of dealing with the fact that, despite the fact that the Pokemon Company has openly stated they're going to try new things, they're trying to break past the level of gaming that they've had for so long, they still are in that same bubble. Still. And the only way we'll ever see change is if another company helps them with games. And me and Urban Ninja have had this talk too off screen. Why don't they just do that for all of their games? Have somebody help you with the game. Because it's clear that you guys are so fixated on giving us games every year when we don't need that. What y'all need is more time to be taken into the games that you're making. But then again, in a very previous conversation, the Urban Ninja made the statement: the Pokemon Company isn't a gaming company anymore. It's a brand. There are more things with that company besides the video games. They have the cards, they have the merch, they have the office apparel. Like, you can go on their website and see they have a crap ton of stuff. Skateboards, bookshelves, book holders, freaking waffle makers, like all this other stuff. Plushies out the woodwork, my Raichu plushie, stuff like that out the woodwork, and things of that nature. It's literally a brand. It's not a gaming company. So how can I keep expecting for this said company to give me what I have been wanting all of this time? And I'm not saying, and no, I'm not just saying more Pokemon, more Eevee Evolution. I'm not even talking about that at all. I'm talking about the thing that y'all keep teasing with these Pokemon presentations. When y'all make trailers of the OG trainers, right? Of things that I would love to see in the actual games. You give that attention to Chinese MOBA games. You give that attention to different things about Pokemon that's not about the main games, but you ignore the main games. And it's clear that you do. And it's clear that you're just doing minimal effort with the main Pokemon games so that you can just keep going with the with profit. Pokemon Company, I need you to understand that's how you're gonna lose not just me, but younger people. Like, I'm not even kidding with you. And yeah, it's going to happen. It is going to happen. Now, am I saying, is your card sales gonna drop? No, probably not. There's lots of kids that still love Pokemon cards, but you are not the only card entity that's out there. There's still Magic the Gathering, there's still Yu-Gi-Oh!, there's still all these other different cards that people can have and play with and have fun with. So the point that I'm trying to make is what's been working for you guys for the past some odd years is not working no more. It's not. And you would think that a person like me is not going to care. At the time I did. I loved this series because I gave so much of my life to it. I loved this franchise because I literally gave so much of my time and my love and focus onto it that I just ignored everything else. I've talked about this in many other videos. But now I see that I was definitely wrong doing that, because I've missed out on a lot of stuff that was better than the stuff that you were handing to me and to a lot of other people. Why did it take you for fans to complain for you to understand how bad this was? Why does it take for someone to respond to have you realize a bit that maybe what you're doing is not what y'all should be doing? Though I'm not saying that means that you're gonna slow down. No, I don't know what made y'all possess the notion that y'all need to mass produce like this, but it's getting excessive. And you're not really letting the game breathe, and you're not really giving time to the problems and issues that the game needs to be addressed with for it to even work. For the add-ons that you want to put onto this game work. No one is going to care about, not much people are going to care about the DLC if the game is still buggy. I said this in Sword and Shield at the end when I beat it. It would have been amazing if they had given us what we have been asking for years. Give us a window, a time window, when you guys can make a game that will feature us going to a past region where we just explore and we get to fight past trainers and all that. And I cannot tell you how much that would satisfy fans. But before that, just fix any problems that the game had or the game has had. Or better yet, even before you even debut the game, you make sure you double down and make sure everything is okay. Instead of just putting it out there because you want to make your deadline. But then I guess I understand that your focus is on the younger generation, to captivate their minds and to get them to really love Pokemon the same way you had us love Pokemon. But here's the thing. They don't have money. It is the old generation that's been supporting y'all for the longest time. Especially me. Without fail, consistently, until this point, I have bought every single Pokemon game. Without fail. Even the game that I grew to hate, which was Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee, I bought. On the day it came out, I bought it. Scarlet and Violet, no different. I bought it. Sword and Shield, no different. I bought it. Without fail. But this time, for Scarlet and Violet, I didn't even catch the legendaries. Once I got past Area 0, I just put the game down. Forgot all about it. Moved on to something else. I didn't even bother with the rest of the game. And no, I am not buying the DLC. Because I'm not even touching the game. Why would I buy DLC for a game that I'm not touching? And then you give us these forms. It's amazing to me how the only thing we asked for, the only thing we asked for was Mega Evolutions to come back, and here but we got this. And you cleverly have a different form of Raikou makes sense. A different form of Suicune makes sense. And possibly a different form of Entei to make sense. With lore and all this other stuff. And the sad thing is that still didn't excite me. It still didn't excite me. The reason why I loved Pokemon was because, not because of the nostalgia, but because of the fact that I've loved it so much up to this point. I've been with it for so long, I can basically tell you everything. But this is going to be one of them times where I don't, because I'm not going to be partaking in the next installment. I'm not going to care whether or not you give us another gen. Hey, I'm not even going to care if you give us another remake, because I already know what you did with Diamond and Pearl, and you pissed off a lot of fans. You made a lot of people mad at you because of that. People were talking about that remake for years. So much so that there was a person that did graphics that literally made his own teaser trailer of what Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl should have been. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what I'm talking about. They get this man put in Mega Evolutions for Empoleon and Infernape, and or made it. What was even more crazy, he made another video about us encountering Arceus. But was that in the game that y'all put out? No, not at all. Hey, it got so bad. People actually picked up Platinum and played that instead of that remake. And yes, I bought the remake too, played through it, beat it, and I have not touched that since. Why is it that y'all don't want to make money? I think Urban Ninja said this, but it was someone said this, is that it amazes me how these companies try so hard to make sure that they don't make money, the money that they should be making, when clearly that was supposed to be the whole goal. The whole goal is supposed to be making money. So how do you do something to make sure that you don't make money? How does that work? How? A couple weeks ago, I stumbled upon the video that was talking about the problems with Pokemon, and I have yet to react to that, but I got a feeling that I'm going to react to it. I got a feeling, because the sad thing is, I was going to talk about something else in this video, but just as of today, I was like, yeah, let's talk about this. I don't know what y'all doing anymore. I don't know what the whole purpose of doing all of this is for. If you're trying to get rid of your old fans, then you're definitely succeeding. If you're trying to tell us that you care little about what your fans want, then you're definitely succeeding. If you're really trying not to make money, then guess what? Yeah, you've been successful for years, despite the fact that you are a juggernaut company. Especially now with these Chinese mobile games. And I still don't understand why y'all thought that was a good idea. So instead of giving us trainers, the past trainers in the main games, you make a Chinese mobile game that's basically a monopoly to give us exactly what we wanted, but just on our phone. And not necessarily exactly what we wanted, but just, oh, you want the past trainers? Well, here you go. Here's a mobile app for all the past trainers in the series and the game. Here you go. Go and play with that. Oh, you want a competitive game? Okay, here's a League of Legends clone. Here, go and play this. You can play with people from other countries. You can play with people in China. Hey, have at it. You want a cutesy game? A cutesy little mobile app? Here is a game that records your sleep. You can get Pokemon that in sleep mode. Different forms of Pokemon that are taking naps. Oh yeah, and they're all Gen 1 for right now. At least for right now. We're gonna put something about a different type of Pikachu and a different Charizard in there. So because I know a lot of people love Charizard Pikachu, that's another thing. I'm getting sick and tired of that. How many more games are y'all gonna feature where you give us premium Charizard, premium Pikachu? Y'all have done that so much to death, it's become insufferable. How many times are you going to monopolize Mewtwo and just put Mew in the background because, oh yeah, this is the reference to the first movie. Remember the first movie where Mewtwo and Mew fought? Yay. And then you give us a code for to have people fight Mewtwo, and half people are gonna be successful, other than the people who've hacked Pokemon. And it's amazing to me how y'all even weren't aware of that up to this point. I've known people been using hacked Pokemon for years. Just because y'all put the games on the Switch doesn't mean people can't hack. I don't understand where this logic is coming from. Like, that wasn't a big secret. Not really. It's obvious that you can see that I'm tired. And I'm gonna say this right now. The only reason, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna say this with my whole chest. The only reason why y'all did so well is not only because of the nostalgia and our childish minds being all in for Pokemon because Pokemon was everywhere. It was because of the fact that Digimon had just stopped at one point. I said it. I'm not taking it back either. The only reason why y'all are at this point right now is because Digimon is not as big money-wise as y'all. Digimon has a better lore, better games, but all they need right now is just more support. That's literally all they need. If it wasn't, if they had that, we wouldn't even look y'all's way. And I'm being totally serious about this. If we had like a little more variety in games, like the moment they finally announced that they're giving us Digimon story games as much as they was on the DS when the DS was still around, it would be over for you guys. It really would be over. But a lot of us who love Digimon are being patient. Clearly. it's clear to me that y'all are not going to change. It's clear to me. I understand that completely. A lot of people have accepted that fact and are just dealing with y'all. But that's the thing with me. I'm not gonna do that. I've done that for so long, my head starts to hurt. I can't do that no more. Am I saying that I'm out of Pokemon completely? Not yet. Not yet. But I'll tell you this right now. Once I find someone to give this to, like, not saying I'm going to give them my Raichu, but once I find someone to give all the stuff that I done accumulated for my love for this series, my hands will be washed. I can't deal with another Pokemon game that is the same method every time. The same stupid need for a gimmick. The same stupid need to place Pikachu in the center. The same stupid need to appease Charizard like he's the grand starter. Meanwhile, there's all these other starters that y'all got. That y'all just push aside. This Gen 1 love. Well, not even love, but more so just excessiveness. Meanwhile, you have X and Y unfinished and untouched and just left to rot. You got Sword and Shield that's just there. And now this. Not to mention the failed attempt of giving us a Let's Go on not a Pokemon Let's Go, but like a Pokemon Go remake of Gen 1 for the Switch. That was a failed attempt. Because you already knew if you gave us Gen 2 in that same format, people would have definitely been done. Especially me who loves Gen 2. You got that. You got the disappointed fans from what y'all did to the remakes for Diamond and Pearl. People were waiting for years. You shun that to the side. So there's that. There's all these things that you've done to basically point out, hey, we realize that y'all love this series, but guess what? We don't care. Either you buy this or you don't. It doesn't matter. You're going to buy it anyway, regardless of what happens. So who cares what you have to say? A lot of us do. I do. I obviously care. I'm putting my money into this, into y'all. I paid my money. Why can I not complain about this? Why can I not have something to say about this when I've invested Pokemon? I've invested into Pokemon for years. So why can't I say something? Hey, if it wasn't for this article, I wouldn't even known that you even said anything about this, because as far as I know, y'all have been quiet as a church mouse about the problems with Scarlet and Violet. Y'all were as quiet as a church mouse. If it wasn't for this article, I didn't think you were even gonna address it. You know? But hey, you said something, so I guess I can't say that you don't, fully choose to be unaware. But hey, I think I've rambled on for enough. It's been 40 minutes. Y'all can let me know in the comments down below how y'all feel about Pokemon overall and where it's going. If you like it, that's fine. If you don't, that's fine too. I'm just tired. I'm not saying I hate Pokemon. I'm just saying I'm tired. So, that being said, I'm gonna play some Digimon story games. I'll see y'all later. I'm out. Peace.